The game has changed, my friend. There are no rules. There are no limits. Anything is possible. And that's because you are the creator. You are at the source of this game. And so in truth, the only limits, the only rules are the ones that you create. You are only limited by your own imagination, your own creativity, and your own willingness to act upon your inspiration. And that's the good news, is that there's nothing outside of you that can hold you back from what it is that you desire to be, to create, to experience. And so this is not only good for you, but it's good for the entire world, because this is the ushering in of an entirely new paradigm. We are literally creating a new world, a whole new game of playing, one of absolute freedom, authentic expression, true creativity, boundless, limitless, timeless freedom that emerges naturally and effortlessly out of our true self. And you see, as an entrepreneur or an artist or a guide or a healer, whatever it is that you are offering is now as free as you can feel within yourself. But the problem is that we've been so conditioned and programmed to filter these things that we're doing, that we're creating, that we're offering through the pretense of these programs, right? The perceptions and the preconditions that we've picked up along the way, which is that it takes a lot of hard work, that we have to struggle, that there are certain ways to succeed. There are certain ways that you need to sell or learn or fit in, right? There's right and a wrong way. And if you don't do it that way, then it's not going to work. You're not going to be successful. All of this is falling away. And what's become available is the aligned way, your way. And now in our world, where everyone is so desperate for truth, for something real, for something raw, for something authentic, it's actually becoming more and more the only way that it really works. And that's the beautiful thing, is that every which way we try to conform to the world, we try to live up to a strategy, a prescription, a technique which doesn't feel natural, the more and more difficult it is going to be fulfilled, to be free, and to receive everything that is for you. And you see, so whether it is your business or your artistic expression or the service that you're offering, right? How you're showing up in this moment, who you are being, what conditions you are incorporating and introducing into that is what you create it to be, all of which are not necessary, none of which are needed. And see, that is where it all comes back to you as the creator, as the source of your life, of your work, of your reality. Because what you are infusing into your own perception, into your own frame of reference, into your own expectation and assumption is what you're going to get back. But what if, with your business, with your artistic expressions, with your practice of healing, of guidance, you slowed down, you started from the end, the vision, right? The aim of who you know yourself to be and the reality that you desire to create, and you work backwards. And rather than assuming that there's this long, arduous, difficult, hard process of earning your stripes, of getting there, of this becoming through ways that are not normal or native or natural to you, that you could actually just right here and now embody the highest version of you, the highest expression of you, the highest creative contribution that you have within you. You see, you can accelerate this path so greatly through your own conviction, through your own faith, and through your own courage to step into it radically. Because again, the world is going to convince you that that's foolish, that that's crazy, that it's ridiculous, that it's not possible. And so is your old self, because your old self is a product of the world. It's believing in the limits. It's believing in the boundaries. It's giving significance to the opinions of others and the prescriptions and the strategies and the techniques which are tried and true and that are going to work, and you need to implement them, right? But that's the thing. More and more, this is not going to work. Less and less is it going to be fulfilling. And you have your emotional guidance to know the truth. As soon as it becomes heavy and difficult and exhausting, you know that it's not for you, that it's not natural, that it's not aligned. It doesn't mean that there's not going to be challenge along the way and that it's not going to require effort on your part. Right? When I started a little over a year ago on YouTube, it required a daily commitment. It required me to face my insecurities, my fears, the shame and the guilt and the fear that was holding me back from doing it from the beginning. But in truth, that's not really hard work. I kept going because I love this. I saw it through. I followed through on my promise because I realized this is the only thing that really matters to me. I don't want to work for someone else. I don't want to create someone else's vision. I have this fire in my heart. I have this vision in my imagination. I have this world that I see as possible, and I'm going to be that change. And so no matter what comes up in that process, I'm going to see it through. And that is a passion. That is a joy. That is a privilege. It's an honor. But that's not the same kind of hard work of showing up every day, doing what you don't want to do, living a life that's not true to you, just to pay the bills, just to fit in, just to get by. What I realized on this path, especially with YouTube, but I've started multiple businesses in the last 10 years. And through my experience with branding and marketing, I've learned through the power of storytelling, through the power of communication from a true, authentic place within you, that there's so much that we incorporate onto this path, into what we're doing and creating, that is completely unnecessary, that is unconscious, that is just something we picked up along the way that we think needs to be involved in it when it actually doesn't. And that's why the path takes so long, seemingly, when actually the path of least resistance, the most accelerated, streamlined path for you, is when you intentionally, deliberately, creatively design that now from your inspiration, from your intuition. It's more of like a download than a design, right? It's already been designed. You're just uncovering it. You're just picking up on it. You're just allowing it to emerge. And then all that's left really is that you have to get fully behind it. You have to enroll yourself in it. That's the conviction. That's the faith. That's the courage. Because there will be doubt. There will be insecurity. There will be challenge and opposition seemingly from outside of you, all of which is just a reflection of your own belief, your own distrust, right? And that will show up as guilt, as shame, as fear. And along the way, those are the frequencies within you that must be met. Because to hold that vision that you have and to create that streamlined path of least resistance, which is taking you from where you are to exactly where you want to be, to exactly who you want to become, to offering everything that you're inspired to offer. That is available to you through meeting those frequencies within you that are being repressed, suppressed, being avoided, being escaped. Because you see tangibly on this path that actually all those things that were within me, that I'm projecting outside of me, are not actually outside of me. There's no one out there that can tell me that I'm doing something wrong. There's no one out there that convinced me that I'm not true and pure, that I'm not, that I'm selfish, right? Right? Because what it is that you're doing is not the way that it looks, not the way that it sounds. It's what it is. I really want you to feel into this. It's what it is. And only you know what it is. And the people who get it, the people who resonate with it, the people who it's for, they'll also feel what it is. And everybody else will look at it, they'll see what it looks like, they'll hear what it sounds like, and they'll project onto you everything that they think it is. And that's what it's not. But if that triggers you, if that touches you, if that rubs you the wrong way, then that's revealing to you a beautiful gift within you, which is still where you're believing that you're not the creator of your reality, that you're a kind of victim to your circumstances, that there's anything outside of you that can stop you, hold you back, limit you, slow you down. When actually, there's not. It's only your own perceptions, it's only your own beliefs, it's only your own ideas that's then being seen outside of you, given significance out there, and then gives you the excuse to blame it. It's the trick of the mind to make sense of why you are where you are and why it seems that you're stuck there. But when you take radical responsibility for your own direct experience, for your own perceptions, through your feelings, that's true liberation, that's true freedom, that's true power, that's empowerment. And when you take radical responsibility of your own experience, over your reality and everything in it, now you can take radical responsibility for dreaming big and living that dream. Because in truth, there are no rules, there are no limits. And the extent to which you can dream and imagine is the only limit that there is. And then again, all that's left is the conviction and the courage to act on it, to live true to it, and to confront everything within you that's trying to argue against it, that's trying to convince you that you're not ready for it, that there's something out here that's going to stop you. And you see, that's how you collapse the gap between where you are and where you want to be, who you want to be, what you want to create, the desired reality that is meant for you. The only obstacles are within you. And when you slow down, tune in, download that vision and feel it in your heart, and then you uncompromisingly, unapologetically create from that space, you collapse time and space. You collapse all the seeming limitations and obstacles that are in your perceptions, in your reality, in your relationships. And you streamline the whole thing. And what happens is that you start to create from that end. You start to speak from that end. You start to live from that reality. You're no longer thinking about it. You're no longer thinking, how am I going to create it? You're no longer trying to figure out how to get there. You see, you're already coming from it. You're thinking from it. You're acting from it. You're creating from it. It is moving through you. That is the trick. To be so delusional, right? Because everything that you're experiencing is a delusion. It's being filtered through your beliefs and perceptions anyway. You're dreaming it all up. So choose your delusion. Be conscious with your delusion, right? Be creative with your delusion. What if you just pretended, faked it till you made it, right? What if you just assumed radically that you are already that? And not just as a theory, not just as an idea, not just as a concept, but then you acted on it. And as soon as you acted on it and created from it, and you faced the shame and the guilt and the fear that comes up, which will come up, and you seek to understand that and investigate that and reconcile that and heal that and move through that so that it doesn't stop you, doesn't throw you off the horse, so to speak. Now you have become unstoppable. And now everything that is meant for you on the other side of what you're creating in your business, what you're offering through your art forms, the work that you're doing in your healing practice, your guidance practice, it's literally coming from that reality. And you will receive beyond measure when you create from beyond the measure of your five senses that are only looking to your external reality and the external forces seemingly that are in your reality that are trying to convince you that you have to be sane, that you can't be delusional, that there are rules, there are limits, and you have to live within them. That's how you're successful. That's how you get freedom. But you, my friend, are the creator. You are at the source of your own reality. And when you boldly, courageously, and with true confidence of your true self, knowing that you are the creator, create the reality and live from that reality, then you know tangibly that there's nothing that can stop you from that. And the truer you are to that vision, the more magic happens, the more synchronicities come to you, the more opportunities and relationships come out of nowhere to support you along the way. This is how life and the universe conspires in your favor. When you decide right here and right now that I am the creator, and I'm going to create the most inspiring, the most exciting, the most beautiful, the most joyous, the most rich experience that I can, not only for myself, but for everyone. Because this is the game that we're all co-creating, that everyone gets to benefit from. This is really the whole intention behind my 12-week mastermind, which is about to begin this week. There are 2 spots left. If you're interested in joining this with me, with one-to-one guidance, with 12 sessions over 12 weeks and 12 other creators to align with your true self, to manifest your desired reality, and comment Vortex down below. I'll send you more information about it.